came home and found both my mother and father brutally murdered, hacked into pieces. I was, of course, shocked and surprised, but I should not have been. After all, today was 11/24/2020, and the clock was 7:30. I was looking at our old family heirlooms and an old clock that showed year-month-day and time, but not the current time. Oh no, the death clock showed you the exact moment of your death. I had never really believed in it, but my father had. It had presided the exact time and death of my grandfather and grandmother, both dead in a car crash. I had always suspected that my father went insane with an obsession with the death clock and killed himself. And my grandmother, at the time, it was predicted. But now, the clock was 2 for 2. And there was no way in hell that my father had murdered both Mom and himself. And after that, hacked them both to pieces. I walked over to the clock and pressed the button like my father had instructed me to all those years ago. All the pointers began spinning around quickly, and a strange song began to play. After a while, all the pointers stopped and indicated a date and time. 11/24/2100. 7:30. Whoa. Another 80 years from now? I was only 20 years old at the time. I would live to be 100. The world was my oyster. 11/24/2025. I have been living large, gambling at casinos, doing tons of drugs, knowing I would never overdose and die, like so many friends I have lost in these short years. I started playing Russian roulette. You know, 2 guys, 1 6-shooter revolver loaded with a single bullet. You take turns holding it against your own heads and pull the trigger to see which one of you will be the unlucky one to lose and shoot your own head off. Of course, it was never me. Mob bosses started to take an interest in how lucky I was. They wanted to learn how I cheated the system. But I could not teach them. I got a few punches in my face, and then I agreed to do some dirty work for them. This fit me like a hand in a glove. Armed bank robbery, shootouts with other gangs. I even worked as a hitman a few times. 11/24/2030. Another 70 years to live. I am working for the Renes, one of the 5 crime families of Italian mobsters in New York. We are settling the score with Don Mario Corleone, an opposing crime boss. I think he might have been behind the murders of my parents. We already killed his brother Luigi. Me and Johnny were ducking behind cover. But as usual, I remembered I had no need to. I rushed out into the fire of shoots, friendly and hostile both. None of them would graze me anyway. I emptied my 6-shooter Magnum revolver straight into the faces of 6 men. I was no great shot, never had been, but at point-blank range, it was impossible to miss. Well, for me anyway. Anyone tried to shoot me would somehow miss, have their weapon click like it was empty, or even explode in their hands. Johnny always told me I had the devil's luck. As far as I was concerned, he might just be right. Johnny and the boys came running after me. The Corleones shot down half of my guys with fire from Tommy guns. The famous machine gun used by old school gangsters and bank robbers. Johnny walked to me covered in blood and guts and even some brain matter from his fallen friend. I just stood there, smoking a Cuban cigar, reloading my revolver without a care in the world. Wow, you really do have the devil's luck, Johnny told me. Yes, me and the boys never understood how you could just rush into enemy fire like that. And look at you now, standing here with half our boys dead without a care in the world, smoking like it's nothing to you. Some of the boys are saying you made a deal with the demon. Freckled Frankie told me. I had to watch myself and not let anybody learn about the death clock. Sometimes, when I was out partying with girls, I talked too much. When I was high and drunk, I had to kill a few just to make sure they did not talk. It was nothing. Girls come and go in the Big Apple, but I could not let Johnny or Renee find out. Freckled Frankie sure as hell did not have the devil's luck. A ginger bastard with red hair and freckles all around his face, born of a prostitute mother that had been found in the gutter. Frankie had not even went to her funeral. He was beaten every day by his alcoholic stepdad, and beaten up even more in school. If Frankie's luck kept up with him, I have nothing to worry about. He would be dead sooner or later, and would have no chance to open his ugly mouth and yap about it. We butchered every last one of Corleone's men, lost most of ours, but I did not give a fuck. Having the devil's luck makes one a bit narcissistic and nihilistic, I suppose. It was me, Johnny, Frankie, and Mario Corleone for the final showdown. Corleone took out a revolver and shot straight at my head. Somehow it swerved and went into Frankie's left eye, instead instantly killing him. Takes care about that problem, I thought to myself. Mario wanted to try again, and this time the revolver exploded in my hand. Me and Johnny spent the next few hours cutting off his body parts: fingers, toes, feet, legs, hands, and arms. We asked repeatedly, who killed my parents? Always the same answer, Renee. That fucking big nose motherfucker. I would fuck him up real good. I put Corleone out of his misery. Bullet through the brain. 11/24/2031. Spent 1 year investigating. Got to make sure before the final confrontation. All the evidence pointed to him. Mr. Alfredo Renee, the big nose mobster. My boss was responsible for my parents' murders. It went just like last time. Johnny cut him up, and Renee admitted. My parents owed him money, so he had a hitman sent for them. Johnny threw Renee out of the penthouse window on the top floor of a skyscraper. Not much was left of Renee after he hit the pavement. He now looked like the meat he liked to eat with his spaghetti. Nice work, I told Johnny, and I took over as the next crime boss. Sure, some guys did not like it and tried to kill me, but they had no success, and I let Johnny cut them up, burn them, hang them high, drown them, or whatever he could come up with. I only wished he did not kill Big Nose Renee so soon. I wanted to know the name of the hitman he had sent to kill my parents off. We paid the cops off like we always did for the murders. They never came looking for my boys. The next few years, a bloody gang war broke out in the city. Tons of shootings and explosions and murder. But I still had the devil's luck. 11/24/2040. I was now ruler of the only crime family in New York. All opposition had been wiped out. I had another 60 years to live. Sometimes I wondered if I should use my power for good, like Superman, Spider-Man, or Batman. It was a funny and strange thought. I guess it was too late for that anyway. Johnny came into my office with a smile on his face. "I found your parents' killer." "Really? Who was it?" "Me, of course, you dumb fuck." He punched my face with brass knuckles, crushing my nose. I pulled up my revolver and tried to shoot his face off, but it exploded in my hand, leaving me with no fingers. "Ha ha, I used your stupid clock at your parents' house. You can't kill me." Oh no, this was not good. I must have talked too much again. And now he knew. "Well, maybe I cannot kill you, but you cannot kill me either." I punched him with my left fist. "Oh, believe me, I don't intend to." He broke my left arm, then cut my tongue out, chopped off my tongue, dick and balls, ears, nose, legs, arms, and cut out my eyes. I was now limbless, blind, and almost deaf. He threw me out of the window. 11/24/2041. Johnny is visiting the hospital, as he does every day. He pays to keep me alive. The nurses and doctors went to pull my plug, but unfortunately, I know they never will. I got 59 years left after all. The doctors and nurses think I am just a vegetable, but I am aware, somehow, Johnny seems to know this. He comes here every day to tell me about the woman he had sex with. He wish he could show me, but sadly, I am blind. He tells me about my old friends and how he has found them and murdered them. About my old girlfriends, how he fucked them and raped them, beaten them, killed them, and I can't do anything about it. Sometimes he plays recordings so I can hear them scream. He tells me he will live for another 60 years. He knows I have 59 years, so he can come here every day for the rest of my so-called life to torment me. 59 years. He laughs at how stupid I was. The clock just shows you that you cannot die, but you can get hurt. I wish I could scream, but I have no tongue, no voice, and I'm going to be like this for another 59 years.